Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk about stalking. This is such an issue. Seriously, I've been thinking about this for kind of a while. I feel like, and I say this from a Western perspective living in the USA, and the way that our laws handle stalking, it's really not good enough. I genuinely feel like it's not. I feel like there's not enough done to combat it, and it's such an issue. Because, when you think about it, right, when someone is being stalked, it is a looming potential threat for as long as that person is actively stalking. The person who is being stalked, they're essentially I would imagine it would be terrifying to even go to sleep, because if this person is stalking you, they are learning your routine, your patterns. They're learning when you go to sleep, when you go to work, when you're not there, your habits, how you do things, right? You could go to sleep and this person may know something and somehow get into your house and then do whatever, either to your house or to you. You don't know what it is that they're going to do, but it's terrifying. And the thing is, from what I have always seemed to hear over and over in cases of stalking, it's like when you tell the authorities about it, they don't do anything. It's like nothing can be done until they literally do something. And it feels to me like it's like, okay, so you're not going to do anything until they've already like killed me. Like once I'm dead, then you'll do something. And what good does that do for me then? What good does it do? I mean, it's like if I'm telling you in advance that there is a problem, why isn't it handled before it turns into something? Before it turns into something serious? This person who is being stalked, they may get anxiety and it can affect their lives in so many ways. They might not be able to sleep, which means they may not be able to maintain work, which means lack of income, which means they might not be able to afford somewhere to live. So either then they become homeless, which would make them even more vulnerable to the stalker, or maybe they get assisted living, which may not be the safest either, in addition to whatever stalking is going on. Their health can suffer from the anxiety. It can go down. They may not have as much energy. Like, it's such a problem. And I just hate how people can just report it over and over and over and nothing gets done. It's like you could have video, you could have whatever, and all you may be able to get is a restraining order, which I think a restraining order is just so like, I mean, what is it supposed to do? Truly, honestly, it's a piece of paper. A piece of paper is not going to stop them from physically going and doing whatever it is that they want to do to you, because if they're that far gone anyway, then what do they care about what the piece of paper is going to do? Because whether there's that piece of paper or not, whatever is going to happen to them is only going to happen to them after they've already done whatever it is that they want to do. It's such a problem. Now, I've thought this way for a while, and then recently, I personally was, I think, to a much, much, much um, smaller degree, was stalked myself at work. I'm not going to go too much into the details about it, but the anxiety that it was causing me, because I felt like over a period of a few, now I hope it's done. I hope it's over. I think it hasn't really been happening, but when it was, the anxiety that I felt was crazy. Feeling like this person was just, they knew my schedule, they were looking for me, And at one point I found out that they definitely were following me because I went to a certain part of the building, and a few seconds later, literally within seconds, they just showed up near me. And I at the time I was signing something out. I was shaking. I don't know if it was visible or not, but I was shaking. I was so uncomfortable, so anxious. I felt horrible. Okay? Now, granted, this was a woman, so the threat of it wasn't as bad as probably if it were a man, but still, I felt sick. Literally going into work, I was there was a certain amount of fear. There was my body just felt it was a horrible feeling. And then, I ended up talking to someone else while I was there, and they confirmed that yes, I was being followed because this person ended up talking to them. So, and I had been telling this person that I felt like I was being followed, I was being stalked, and this person didn't necessarily believe me. But then after that, they were like, okay, yeah, you're right. Like, you were being followed, you were right. And, I already felt how I felt before being personally stalked, but I felt, or I feel even more strongly about it after that, because it's horrible. And like I said, this was a small scale. This is not like outside of the job. I don't think it's ongoing. Um it's just not as on a grand scale as a lot of people who have to go through it. But just from my little minimal episode involvement with it, it was horrible. And I can't imagine with what people who have to go through that, who have gone through that, feel like, just based on how I felt for that small period of time. And it's like, even now, I'm kind of trying to like bring it up to certain, uh I don't I let's just say that I'm trying to make it known, but it doesn't even seem like the proper avenues are available for me to take to even really like report this, which I think is an issue. And again, I had an issue with this before, and then after having experienced it myself, I feel even more strongly about it. It's terrible. It's truly, truly just terrible. It's awful. So I say all this to say that I would hope that at some point laws are updated that prevent stuff like this. I feel like there's other stuff that needs to be looked at too, specifically a lot of things online. Like, now you have the stuff with like deep fakes and online bullying, which, I have different opinions on that, but still, even if you turn off your computer, other people can still see the stuff that people are posting, and stuff can be slander, defamation of character. It's a problem. So I do think that a lot of laws need to be revisited. Whether or not actually happen is a different story, but I do think that it would be very good if that were to happen. But with that one being said, I really just wanted to talk about stalking because I don't know, it's something I think different on this channel, but still something that I think is important. It's not something I think about as often as the other content on here, but it's still something that I do feel strongly about. And because it has happened to me personally, it felt even more so like I should talk about it, especially since it's pretty recent as well. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this one. Hopefully you got something out of it, and if you did, um great. If you want to leave something in the comment section, feel free. Drop a like if you'd like. But either way, I guess I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one.